Hello. I just spent the last 20 minutes or so explaining all of what I'm doing here and thinking that I'm streaming, but I had the stream set to private for some reason. So now we're doing this for real. We're doing this live again in public. So, what what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Quite a bit actually. I want to talk about the channel, about what's going on. Hey, I know you. I know all these people. Now people are in chat. You see, when you make it a public stream, that means that people can actually join in the chat and watch it. That's interesting. Hello, Tic Tac. Hello, Matt Anonym. Oh, of Triglav Games. The king of the boggets over there. Yeah, so... that's a little embarrassing. But at least, nobody saw the... saw it, that embarrassing... the embarrassment as I like to say, design me like one of your French hex crawls. Yes, of course, I will. But I will make it appropriate. Yeah, I should say, if you're going to be in my Tuesday night game in about a week, leave. Don't be here. Don't look at this. Stop it. Stop. Don't look at any of this. Because this is going to be massive spoilers for my next adventure they're going to run, which is a pirate-themed adventure where they're going to set sail on the high seas and uncover a mystery and all that. But we're not going to get into really the plot of that adventure right now. We might get into things like, what you could possibly, what the heroes could possibly find on the high seas, but we're not going to be going over all that. But first I want to go over the channel. The channel is I think I'm going to be streaming quite a bit this week, but I tried to get through a couple of videos this week editing wise, but there's just a lot of it to do, so I'm going to sort of punt a few of those videos down the line. I know that one video is going to come out next week that is very different than Draw Steel. Very different than Draw Steel. That will... that I didn't run. An adventure that I didn't run. And that will be next week at some point. And we'll have a lot to talk about after that one. It was a fun experience. It was a really fun experience. I should not... it was very fun. It was very fun. John Denor ran an adventure for us, the Dice Society, and Nomad and I. And it was very, very, very fun because of everyone at the table. John and Caillou and Nomad. And not necessarily the system that we were playing, which I'm going to keep a bit of a secret for now until that video releases. Rise, expletive, rise. Well, hey, hey, I can take sponsorships from the little blue pill. Never mind. Why are we saying such dirty things right now? No. So no. This week probably just a couple streams. I want to go over the Fall of Black Bottom and that adventure and what I thought about it, and also the summoner that was in that adventure. We actually, it's been a while since I ran that, but I was just editing it last week. So it's been a part of my life for a very long time, and I remember the whole thing. We stopped recording. We finished recording it, I think a week before the first episode came out, and then I've been editing it since then to make sure that they all come out. And it was a lot, just a lot. There was a lot of things. A lot of thoughts about the adventure, which I really liked. I really liked the adventure and the summoner. which it comes with its own challenges. Um, a lot of challenges. Actually, just the one challenge, which are the walking boulders. The walking boulders are now banned from my table. They're not. You can't do that. Can't have those. Can't have those. But but no. Regardless, we'll save that for another stream. But I want to go over that because I did that with the Delian Tomb, and I want to do that with every adventure after I'm done with them. The adventures that I don't run, rather. I could do them with adventures that I do run, but I think that there might be a little more. There might be a little more juice with the adventures that I don't run, like the Fall of Black Bottom. I'm going to run the Red Road and Dark Heart of the Wood as, you know, one group of adventurers, one group of heroes, probably recording them, running those back to back at some point this next month, probably late January. And then running this one starting next week, which will hopefully come out in February at some point. Whenever we're done with it, I'll start working on the edit. And then after that, I think I'm going to do this new space adventure came out today. That looks really, really cool. It's whatever it is. I just posted it on Blue Sky. What is it called? What is it called? It is so cool. It is so cool. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The Matter of an Overmind, which is so awesome. You fight a moon in space, which is better than the alternative of fighting a moon on Earth. That would be difficult. So, yeah, the art is amazing for it. I'll set it. I'll open a tab here. This thing. Ooh. Has my username on here, but no, it's fine. Just don't look at any of that. Yeah, this adventure is so cool. I'm gonna run this, and then I'm gonna run Heart of Arcana's adventure that is also in space. That's the 7th level adventure, and I'm gonna run this and then that back to back. They both look so cool. I bought this so quickly. Yeah, it just looks really cool. It's a 4th level adventure. Looks super cool. Look at this. Oh god. I messed it up. Here, this is an actual battle map where you're right here in space, facing down a giant Overmind. Yeah. Sign me up. Sorry. Sign me up right now. So yeah, I'm gonna run that after Dark Heart of the Wood and the Red Road. I actually played in a playtest of the Red Road a few months ago. I haven't streamed since October, so I feel like there's a lot to cover before we get into the weeds here. I was in a playtest of the Red Road, which was very fun. Very fun. There were some gnolls in it. Obviously, it's a gnoll adventure, and you're sort of racing against a gnoll warband before they get to some high elves, and it was fun. There's some magic soup in it that my character enjoyed. I remember freezing the soup into little icicles and then handing out the icicles as we went, because I think we had what do they call the bag of holding in Draw Steel? That thing, whatever that thing is, and that was super fun. Just a fun adventure because of the multitude of reasons. Yeah, it just seems fun. So I can't wait for them to release that, and then I will be running that certainly ASAP. And then what else? Then right after the last time I streamed in mid-October, I went to Gamehole Con and I played Crows. I played in a playtest of Crows with Robin Baggett, who is also a friend of the channel and has their own channel here. Covers also Draw Steel stuff. Also is in charge of the amazing Fantasy Grounds Draw Steel module, which is coming along amazingly well. I keep checking in on it every once in a while, and they have a lot entered in there. But went there to Wisconsin, which I think is Wisconsin. My God, it is the land of cheese. It is. It smells really bad there. I don't know how you could. Not to insult anyone who lives in Wisconsin, but yikes. But that was Gamehole Con. It was pretty cool. We did whatchamacallit, Crows. James Introcaso actually ran it for us. That was really cool. And it was what you imagine a dungeon crawler to be. Just you know, just actually fun and not trying to trick the players. Kind of how I see a few of those dungeon crawlers. You know, those old, they call it old school, but it's really just, you know, screwing over your players with glee. So that's kind of how that was my impression of it. Was that it was actually really fun. I think everyone had a great time with it, and a baby aboleth laid eggs in my brain, or took over my brain, I should say. And I had to eat the assassin, the rogue, by the end of it. But that was just, you know, that's just what happens, you know. And what else? Oh my God, 1 year of the channel was amazing. That's when we started The Fall of Black Bottom, the adventure. That's when that first came out. And then since then, I haven't really run all that much. I've done some Danger Rooms. I've done, I think that's about it. Oh, and then I've also running Alien. That'll come out probably in early February. Probably the first Friday of February will be the brand new Alien RPG adventure that they just came out with. Rapture Protocol, and I think we're wrapping that up this week with a couple sessions, either 1 or 2 sessions this week, to sort of so that we can be done with that. But that's been super fun. With Gerard and Ryan and, like, again, Nomads in that group as well, and just so much fun. You know, a great example of players taking the adventure in a totally different direction that the designers probably never imagined. Yeah. This is from Annem. Oh God, here we go. I can already see how you try to sell the blue stuff. Do you need a surge? Do you need a surge? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Do you need a surge? Get out of here. Yeah, no. So yeah, Crows and now Alien, a bunch of stuff is going on here on the channel. We have yeah, just a bunch of stuff. And then the holidays are crazy because you know, away from home, or you're, you know, not certainly not at this desk editing or running. So in January next week, we really ramp up with more stuff, and I want to get out different types of videos pretty soon. I already have a script written for a scripted type of video, so I'm excited about that. I don't want to get into the details about that, but it feels like it's going to be a fun one to do, and I want to see the reaction of that. But that'll be out in the next couple weeks, if it happens at all. It'll be out in the next couple weeks. But January is probably going to be a slower month for the channel, just because I do need a tiny bit of a break. So we'll have a few. We still have 2 of the Beastheart Fall brawls that were lost in the weeds for a little bit, but they'll come out throughout the month. And then we have that adventure that John ran. And that'll probably be next Friday, Wednesday or Friday. And then we have one other beefier video that'll come out at some point in January. And then we will have this pirate adventure. And I want to go over my process here for how I prepped this adventure thus far. And there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still another week before we start recording. We have almost all the character art is done, and it's already looking amazing. But I want to go over what my process is for designing a kind of a hex crawl type thing. Basically, it is a hex crawl. If you don't know, I don't know how you don't know if you've wound up here on one of these on one of these streams, but it is where you take a bit of terrain and the heroes go point by point from one hex to the next, encountering whatever the director put in each hex. If you look at all of these squares here, that's over 300 squares that I would have to design, and I don't think that's really the ethos of Draw Steel, is to design each individual little square so that just in case the heroes stumble into that square, you will have something prepared. That is ridiculous and not fun to prep or run, I imagine, or maybe even play. I'm not sure. So, what I did was I made a totally separate system using the building blocks of Draw Steel. So let me plop this thing. I have some Discord notifications. Let me first check those. Oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, so I designed a whole system. I'm in the process of designing it. It's not completely done. John, get out of here. John is in this adventure. You need to leave. You need to leave, John. John Denor. Leave. I'm just here to scare the shit out of Cameron. Mission accomplished. Go back to Norway. Would Draw Steel be better as a point crawl? Says Andrew Downing. No. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be better as a point crawl. And let me explain why. Here is my document for not a hex crawl. No, we're not going to call them those. We're going to call them cinematic journeys, I think. And cinematic journeys, they are, you know, how in movies, how you see, like, for instance, since this is a pirate adventure, we're gonna be you know, journeying across a giant ocean to hunt some sort of creature. Well, you don't want to go through each point because that would take a million years, and we only have so many sessions in each of these adventures, so we want to get it done quite quickly. And I think this is kind of goes against the point of what a hex crawl actually is. Hex crawl, going from point to point. No, I mean, that's not really necessary. I think you can do something, you can make something that's more fun than a hex crawl and keeps it in line with what you're kind of aiming for with Draw Steel, which is more cinematic, more action based. Here's what I have written so far. This is obviously, there's a bunch of bald spots in here of things that I need to go back and enter in probably after this stream, or maybe during this stream, I'm not sure. But here's the pitch. Moving through some terrain can be both dangerous and cinematic. Heroes need to be careful where to move, or else the terrain might fight back. In these instances, deploy a cinematic journey. Choose a large map with an appropriate terrain type. This could be an open ocean, a volcanic ruin, or even a moon. Draw a square grid on the map. The size of each square is important as it will determine how long it takes to get to each location. Litter the map with many places the heroes would know before the journey begins. I should say reveal these to the heroes when you show them. Reveal these to the heroes. I have a tendency to just be really wordy with my writing. Place these within 3 to 5 squares of each other. The idea being that the distance that you can travel in each like initiative I don't have a word for what it will be, maybe leg or sprint or something like that, but I know sprint has a certain baggage with it. So each leg that or each journey, I don't know what the word is, but each time you move, you can only move 3 to 5 squares, so you need them to actually get to a point, a place on the map. Now divide the map into 5 regions of roughly equal size. That's what I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this little extra nubbin is because there are too many squares, and I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Okay. If the heroes are meant to move in one direction, number these regions 1 to 5, with the first going in the hero's starting location. Again, that sentence needs to be rewritten. These are danger zones. The number of each danger zone modifies the event's roll. The event roll, capitalize that R, the director makes during the journey. These events are tailored for, and then I just, tailed off. It doesn't matter what that sentence will grow up to be a complete sentence one day. Morale test. So this is the process. This is the initiative of how this goes. And it's a more strict version of initiative than a montage test, but less than, yeah, no, I think it's just more than a montage test, not less than anything. Each hero is going to make a roll here, and which type of roll is the only thing that matters for the order. It could be any of them making any one roll, which is another thing that I should write. Each hero only makes one roll. Okay. So the first one is the morale test. We want to determine what the morale is. One hero makes an interpersonal skill test to modify one of the rolls in the journey. This modifier must be used on one of the hero's next rolls. Next rolls? That should be plural. That should have an S at the end of it. And before they make the roll. So the troubadour makes this roll, this interpersonal test, and then either has a bane, an edge, or a double edge. And you then, as it progresses, these, there are going to be more rolls attached to this system, to moving around. Hello, the Dice Society. Hello, hello. You have joined in at the best part. Yeah, so you take a morale test. You determine what you're going to get, what kind of bonus or advantage or disadvantage on the next roll you get, and then you apply that before someone makes the next roll. So scouting ahead would be the next one, and the troubadour can use that edge or double edge or bane on the next one, but I think it has to be used. I think it has to be used. That adds drama. So scouting ahead, one hero rolls an exploration skill test to investigate a 2-burst area of squares. And I don't know what the resolution here is, but it'll be cool. It'll be fun. So this is them. This is the hero's ship. They will be, obviously a 2-burst. For this, I have, a possible encounter. And they can't see any of these things. That's why they're sort of shaded out. But they can see the wreckage of the Fairweather, which is one of the clues that they get right from the opening scene. They don't know that a bounty hunter is out here, but they will know of bounty hunters and House, whatever you are, Verona. Those are people who are hunting them. There are 5 hostiles, at least 5 hostiles on the map that are going to be moving around, unlike all the ones that they can see here. Port of some kind. I haven't named that one yet. I don't know what it is. Fortress might not eventually go there, but it's going to be immovable. The Treachery is also there. That's a pirate, an amalgam of a bunch of pirate ships that are there. All these are amazing Che and Peiku maps. I love them so much. But anyway, when you do this 2-burst, which might be too much, I'm not sure, you see, depending on the power roll, whatever's out there in the ocean. I think the null result might be a little harsh here. So for a tier 1, you don't find anything. Null result? Is that good? I don't know. I don't know if that's good, if that's helpful. It you know, you do need to sort of move things along, but I think that it takes away some of the tactics as well. And then whoever does the scouting ahead, poor thing, they'll feel so bad. So you're going to look, you're going to see what is out there. You're going to see if they're here, they're going to do a 2 burst, or if they're here, and if the Boggett tribe here were hidden, if they were hidden, then you would reveal that, and you would see, okay, well, there's some Boggetts over here. Let's go check in on them. You know, because of whatever the story is, which I'm not going to get into here on the stream, but they're going to be chasing something, hunting something throughout the ocean, and they're going to need every little bit of information. And so they're going to want to take a detour over to the Luga tribe, or you know, find the treachery with other pirates. What's going on there? They want to, and then of course the wreckage of the Fairweather. They want to also investigate that. But when they're, you know, this 2 burst could show them, you know, it could ping a bunch of other things, and they want to investigate that, or they want to investigate other things. It's going to be, I think, a better way of doing a hex crawl, because you have a bunch of other options. You know kind of what's around the corner, and I'm not sure if a regular hex crawl actually does something like that, if there are any rules for it, but I thought you need to do a little recon before you enact a plan, or come up with a plan even. So then you determine your speed. So this is all, again, all of this up to this point is just to strategize. The heroes are trying to strategize and trying to come up with an idea of where do we need to go? What's out there? What are the dangers out there in the ocean? And then which direction should we go? Which is the safest option? And you determine your speed. So someone with a crafting or exploration skill test, which in this instance, crafting makes a lot of sense, because you're, you know, on a boat, you're on a ship, and you need to make that ship move. And so, like, you know, you need to get into the rigging and stuff. I initially just had that as just a crafting skill, but I said exploration as well. I added that in there because I thought the crafting skills are very, very specific, and might not be very useful in this, if we're going to do this you know, over and over again. But the idea is that we're using an interpersonal, an exploration, a crafting, and a lore skill. We're using all 4 skill groups, you know, all the information that you can possibly get from the ocean and yourselves and the heroes. Hello, tabletop nonsense verse. Hello. Your name is recognizable. You make stuff. I know you make stuff, but I cannot place the name of what you've made and all that stuff. But I know you've made stuff. Your name is recognizable. I know it. Well, welcome anyway. So yeah, you determine how far you can move. This is where the placement of all these things, this 3 to 5 squares, is really important, because you need to have different. You need the heroes to be able to get to a safe boat hold, a safe place, so that they can further the story. Where the idea being that whenever they move to a different location, the story progresses. The story definitely progresses. You have another scene that you can go into. This requires a lot more. The Blacksmith's Guild, that's exactly what it is. And Nomad, yes, of course. I knew that. Hello. The F-Bard, right? Yes. The F-Bard. Normally you go by the F-Bard. I sense deception here. I'm just joking. Yeah. So you the idea is that you're having a little mini montage test just to get to this other location, and then you have a whole scene. The director has other stuff prepared, uh, and really, I only have to prep things that are like 10 squares away. Of course, I'll go overboard and I'll overwork myself, and I'll prep all these things. And I already know pretty much how all the stuff works out. Like I know what the whole um, uh, mystery is with this whatever this thing is. So I have enough to fill in the blanks, but I'll have this is a whole encounter right here. This is an encounter right here. Whatever this is going to be, it's when the heroes search, it's not going to say possible encounter. It's going to say I don't know, octopus people or something. I don't know. It's going to say something a little more useful for them to make a decision. So yeah, and I'm going to populate it with, I think, a few more things in each zone. You don't want to do too many, but you do want to, have them be able to plot a course and go in. You don't want it to. You don't want it to feel like a hex crawl. I know how that sounds really silly and it sounds counterintuitive, but you don't want it to sound like a point crawl or a hex crawl, because it. I'm not sure if that's actually fun for anyone involved. I really don't. I've never tried that, but it doesn't sound fun. So you do want it to have a cinematic nature to it, but you also do want there to be a cost of each square that you move. The distance that you or moving at all in the ocean needs to cost something, and so that's why we have chart a course. Move, and you're gonna get a path, but then that's why we have the event roll. The director rolls for an event, see below. These will be cinematic scenes that either deplete the hero's resources or aid them. I don't want it to be necessarily a bad thing, but I need them to feel something whenever they're making that journey. I'm talking a lot, so that makes me thirsty. Events. The director rolls 2d10, modified by the danger zone the heroes are currently in. So, danger zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and I thought I was quite clever here. I designed this so that in each zone, it's impossible for you to get a 25 on the roll here. But it's very possible to get it only in this area, in a 24, and a 23, and a 22. You can only get up to a 21 in this zone. So I thought it was sleek, and I was kind of proud of myself because I remembered that numbers were a thing, which normally is a bad thing for me because I don't like numbers. But anyway, alternatively, the director can choose for themselves which events happen. I don't even know if I like this, to be honest with you, because it takes a little bit of the randomness out of it, but you can kind of pull your punches if need be, which sometimes you do need to. So we're just going to populate this with a bunch of different events that will pointedly not be major battles. And they're going to be story-driven. They have to be things that drive the story forward. The mystery of what's going on in this ocean with whatever they're hunting, that needs to be way more important than a random encounter with a few kobolds. I don't really like random encounters. We have that down here as well with dynamic things to find, a big list of things that I'm sort of brainstorming. You don't want random encounters just for the sake of it. That's silliness. I think that's not draw steal. I mean, maybe it's a different game. Obviously, you have you have other games that can do that are about depleting their resources to a certain extent, to a huge degree. But in this adventure, there's a very specific reason why they can't take respites. They can't. that's a big motivator, and so it's dialing in exactly what we need to do, what these need to be, and what it costs them to move around. That's important to dial in at least. So we have bounty hunters. The bounty hunters, yeah, they've a crew of bounty hunting sailors have caught your trail. All bounty hunters tokens move up to their speed toward the heroes. If they end this movement adjacent to them, they fight. I like that. Can random encounters lead to small delves if the heroes pull that thread? Yeah, I mean, I guess it could, but again, this is how my table is going to run it way differently than how your table is going to run it. But this is not supposed to be a campaign. This is an adventure. This is, only it'll probably be like 15 victories, just because I think whenever you finish this little journey, this initiative, you get a victory under certain conditions, under most conditions probably. So this will be more victories, but still only like 5 or 6 sessions. So it's not going to be for the purposes of this adventure that I'm running specifically for my table, probably no delves, but there are certainly delves here, like little areas that could turn into delves, like the port. I don't know what's going on over there. I kind of know what's going on over there, but for what I'm designing right now, and yeah, for the adventure, it's probably no delves. But the bounty hunters, which will just be rival parties, flavored as pirates, that will move in and try to subdue the heroes, and try to take them captive. Rough seas, the waves are volatile today. Move the hero's ship 1 additional square of the director's choosing. In the direction of the hero's or the director's choosing. I am a hero, I suppose. Not to them. That's where the rum went to. You find a few bottles of rum in the hold, and I think you heal your recovery value, I think. Yeah. Boom. So it's not all bad. It's some of it's clues, some of it's cheesy little things, but you can't. The thing is, if they're all bad, then you're punishing the heroes for exploring, and that doesn't feel right to me. And that's kind of also what a problem that I have with paste with this. Stop it, with Copilot. Shut up, Copilot. That's a problem that I have with the idea of a hex crawl, is that you really are depleting their resources to a crazy amount, and maybe you get a little place to stay and take a respite, but not with this adventure. This one is, pedal to the metal. You're trying to solve something, and you cannot, for very specific reasons, you cannot literally rest. You can't go to sleep. So, and there are, there's a whole other thing that I'll have to prep for, not falling asleep. But that's sort of the idea. But that's what the problem with it is, that the problem with the hex crawl is that you do punish the heroes a lot, and it's a lot of work, literally on everyone's part, because you have either a battle or something in every hex, or maybe not every hex. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of those hex crawls, but I just went with what my idea was for a hex crawl and said, this is how we should do it for Draw Steel. Maybe it's not that faithful to hex crawls. I have no idea, and I don't much care, to be honest. I made the thing that that I'm kind of proud of with this whole system. I just need to fill this thing out. So there's also, I found dried seal blubber. One of the heroes finds extra rations. Blah blah blah. You can heal your recovery value. Did I not just say copy and paste? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Copilot. You run out of water. Each hero loses 1 stamina or 10 stamina. And then obviously in these later regions, in their later danger zones, caught by House Verona, the Navy ships of House Verona have found you at last. And then I'll have another encounter already prepped for that. And then sideswiped. Your ship was hit by old Marguerite and took major damage. This triggers a hard montage test to repair the ship before she sinks. So a bunch of things just like that. Little events that could be either it will end in another montage test or maybe a negotiation. I'm not sure. But using other types of encounters, not combat encounters, because that doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel earned. Where the combat encounters are concerned, where they do feel earned, is when you actually get to the places. When you actually get to, say, whatever this fortress is, there's probably going to be a, a pre-made thing. Like there's going to be a few scenes where, okay, they're going to this port. I know what's going on at the port, and these are the NPCs they're gonna interact with. So you go back with your regularly scheduled adventure. And so I have a bunch of these things written down of what is also in. Oh, okay, so you can't see that. Oopsies. Oops. Let me just do this a bunch, and then you'll see. Okay. So again, I bolded this. Not random encounters. They all serve the story. These all have to give them a hint, give them a clue, even if they're combat encounters, like the dwarven slave ships. They're gonna fight some dwarves on another boat, but that has to actually mean something to the story, or else why'd you have it? Just, I know dwarves are cool and you want to fight them, but come on now. So bounty hunters, rival parties with variations, obviously pirates. But I want those to, again, give you a hint of what's going on. What is the mystery going on in this in the ocean here? What's going on? What's haunting all these people? It is the what did I call this ridiculous thing? The black-eyed spine squid, but it's what are they capable of? What is that squid really capable of? What can that squid do? And you'll see that with all the bounty hunters. Maybe they tell them a story or something. There's House Verona. Maybe they find the wreckage of House Verona ship or something. The treachery is this one right here, which is that amalgam of a bunch of pirate ships. What's going on there? They find a few pirates who have forgotten all but one language, treated as a role-playing puzzle. Obviously, this is just my thoughts of how can you make each one of these different and unique and interesting? And what can the heroes figure out about these pirates? You also do want a progression of the clues that they're finding, and each one should sort of build upon the last one. How long have I been actually streaming here? 90 minutes already? What? No, there's no way. There's no way. 40 minutes. There we go. 42 minutes. Okay. Luga tribe. These are boggets, little frog dudes. That will be a fairly low level threat. This is going to be a 4th level adventure, so I'll have to design a different encounter to make it a little beefier about what's going on there. But the boggets have been driven mad by something, and I see boggets as sort of maybe not primitive, but they are sort of like lizard folk a little bit, and I think these boggets will be a little bit more in line with lizard folk, that kind of stuff. But I like boggets. The fortress, I don't know what the hell this fortress is going to be honest with you. This fortress is going to be something cool. It might be where the final the fortress might be a wizard's tower, but it also might be the lair of old Marguerite. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if those things are the same thing, but I do need like a set piece for the final battle or final altercation. The wreckage of the Fairweather is really the hero's first clue of like what's going on. When they're given this mission, they're told, yeah, and the Fairweather, which is this famous ship that notoriously can avoid danger and whatnot. Very, very fast ship. It was destroyed. And rumor has it that it's been destroyed and that it was in this general direction. So that will be interesting to investigate that, the wreckage of it. Maybe find some wounded sea monsters. Again, if they happen upon a giant shark or something, that giant shark should have signs of interacting with whatever this giant squid thing is. And then same with the dwarven slave ships. Something isn't right about them. Maybe they don't have captives below decks or something. All of these need to just reinforce the story of what's going on. Some sort of port. I have no idea what the port is. That map is called like a drow port, and so it might be like a shadow elf port. I like shadow elves, so maybe we could do some of that. Yeah. That's really all I have for this stuff. I know that I'll probably post this whenever it's done. This document, I'll make it a PDF or something and post it in the Discord as well. But what I wanted was to kind of make it less nauseating for director to run one of these things and just have, hey, these are a bunch of events that could happen that can affect your heroes. Ultimately, that's the meat and potatoes of it, is the skill rolls and then these events. Those are really important. And the danger zones. And those are really the important bits that I wanted to get sort of designed. We'll see next week if it takes shape. In between now and then, I will have to do a little bit more work, mostly just on this chart here. I want to get that taken care of, and maybe there aren't any events. I think an event is fun though. It's what are we gonna get? Kind of. It's either gonna be really good or really bad, or I guess not either one of those. But it's gonna be something that isn't the end all be all. I think the worst would probably be just you lose a recovery, I think. But again, I want to be careful about that because there literally isn't any time to take a respite in this adventure. So it's got to move. It's got to move. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of it. Again, the channel, we're going to be diving into a new system for a one shot, and then the Alien RPG, obviously, in February. I think I want to do a new system every month, see if that works out. I definitely want to do Mothership, and there are a bunch of other ones. Daggerheart's probably the next one on the list after Alien, and see what else is out there. Really, I have the Cosmere RPG that I haven't even busted into. Avatar Legends, which is coming out with a new adventure line that is looks really, really cool. Alien, obviously, and the Dune RPG, which I have all the books of, but you know how you collect those things, and you tell yourself you're going to run it, and then you don't get around to it. So yeah, obviously all of those that I want to get to throughout 2026. Of like, hey, I want to actually run these. Hello, you finally got caught up just as I was wrapping things up. I'm so sorry. Hey, are you the one who made the adventure with the you? I recognize your name, Dima Jadar. Are you the one who made the adventure with the where you fight the moon in space as opposed to on Earth? Your name sounds familiar. I think you are. I think that's who you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I remember. I recognize that Blue Sky post. Yes, that adventure looks really cool. I cannot wait to run it. That looks really, really fun. Yeah. So 2026 is yes, it looks so cool. That cover art is amazing. 2026 is definitely running more third-party adventures, focusing more on third-party content through the Danger Room sessions that we do. I want to test a lot more of that kind of stuff, and then more MCDM made adventures as well. All of the ones that they're gonna release this year, like I already said the other two second level adventures, but then also the condemned. I really want to run that one. So that'll happen, and then obviously later in the year, Crack the Sun will start that one. That I'm really excited about, because Dusk is what inspired me to actually start this channel, and you know, seeing that, you know, the Matt's face in the corner, the whole 9 yards, I was like, oh yeah, I could actually do that, and yeah, so that will be sort of, it will come kind of full circle a little bit. Hopefully nobody will die. Oh no, I hope all the heroes will die. Come on now. Come on, Dima JR. Of course we want all the heroes to die. Heroic deaths, of course. No, but yeah, other than that, nothing else really to update you all with. But some fun stuff, and then my God, this really beefy video that'll come out at some point in January, hopefully. I was gonna do New Year's Eve, but it's just too much work to get it all done and out the door. Too much editing. Yeah, I know. That's, yeah, that Dusk inspiration, and then also if you look up Narrative Declaration, they do the impossible, which is make Pathfinder look fun. And I modeled a lot of the overlays. No, obviously I don't draw them, but the direction that I give the artist is, hey, look at whatever these guys are doing, do that. And it's if you do a side by side, they're very similar, because they make their overlays look really cool. So yeah, yeah. I mean, just running a lot the next year, hopefully, and I have a few ideas of crazy things that I want to do next year for the channel. Just running a lot of different types of RPGs and different systems, and then also other projects that aren't videos that are already in the works that are coming along quite well. So, but I don't want to talk about those quite yet. Some people who have been in this chat even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, other than that, I think we're all caught up with things. Yeah, so look out for another video next week for sure, and then January will be sort of slow with live plays, except I guess one a week is kind of slow at this point. But yes, so keep an eye out for all that, and then this pirate adventure will come out sometime in February, either mid-February or earlier mid-February. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take to run. But yeah. So until then, I guess everyone have a great time. I don't have a sign off, but if I did have a sign off, I would say that right now, because we're done streaming.